Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilie. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Emilie Bjørnå, and you can find the group for this podcast by searching for the Arctic Knitting Podcast group in Ravelry. So I'm going to start with a little thing that we have had going on in the group. We've had a giveaway going on for this pretty yarn, which isn't skinned up because I have taken it apart to show you. But it's basically two skeins. Each of them are 50 grams. It's a total of 100 grams and it's 330 meters or 360 yards. And this was donated to the podcast by the Etsy shop, a new Etsy shop from a Norwegian indie dyer called The Happy Little Dye Pot. So this is it. Did I say it's 100% alpaca and it's really soft. And there is also included a stitch marker. So last time I recorded this podcast, I managed to get this far, so I pulled a winner and I'm going to insert a clip here, which actually shows the drawing of the winner. So I have put in the numbers 2 till 28 on my phone on a random number generator, because the first post is mine, and I'm hitting generate, and the winner is number 3. Let's see who that is. Number 3. Hope this is something I can pronounce. The winner is Merve. And she says that I think those colors would work well in stranded knitting. Perfect amount for mittens. So that's her. So, Merve, please get in contact with me. Send me a Ravelry message or an Instagram message with your contact information, and I will get your yarn in the mail for you. So, and hope you like it. I really hope you like it. So, congratulations. I hope you got to see that. So that's the giveaway. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the stranded call, which we have going on in the Ravelry group, which basically is a knit along for everything that is stranded knitting. It doesn't have to be like traditional pattern. It could be anything. I don't have any rules about that. It can be a work in progress from before the knit along started. I don't have any rules towards what you have knit. You can make mittens or socks or a hat, or several people has been making those Icelandic sweaters with rounded yokes, which are really pretty. So yeah, as long as this is stranded, and it doesn't have to be, the whole thing doesn't have to be stranded. Just if you make mittens, so if you have stranded on the cuff, or as the Icelandic sweaters, which has stranded knitting on top. So yeah, head on over to the Ravelry group and check out the chatter thread, which has been quite chatty and which is really fun. And if you don't feel like chatting, so please just go on over there and check out the finished objects thread, because there are some really pretty objects there, so everyone should check them out. And if you haven't been trying stranded knitting before, this would be the perfect opportunity to try. You can ask anything, ask for help in the thread, and I will try to help you, and I'm sure other people will try to help you as well. You can use, I'm not sure if I said, I always forget to say this, so if I say this for the second time now, well, so be it. We have a hashtag, which is stranded call, putting that here somewhere, which you can use on Instagram. And please do, because it's really fun to see all of the stranded knitting everyone is doing. There is also, of course, prizes. I'm sorry. One of the prizes are this. It's a counter and those little things that look like skills you put in your ears. It's actually for putting on the needles. And there is some cable needles and the yarn. This is yarn from Maskepiken, which is a Norwegian indie dyer. The colorway is called Boogeyman, And I have the exact same skein, so whoever wins this can be my sock twin if they want to. This is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and it's 400 meters per 100 grams, and the base is called Kjell. It's a Norwegian boy's name, Kjell. So you can win Kjell Boogeyman. So this is one of the prizes. The other one is from Rauma, which is a Norwegian big brand in knitting. So you can win this booklet with lots of Norwegian traditional patterns. There are patterns for mittens and socks and hats and it actually says here, scarves. And I have also included 2 skeins of I'm going to take a photo of Retro Strikkegarn, which is a traditional Norwegian yarn that is used a lot for stranded knitting. It's one skein is black and the other one is nature white. And it is, let's see if I can find it, 150 meters per 50 grams. And this will fit perfectly to knit anything in this booklet. The booklet is in Norwegian, but I will help the winner translate if that's needed. And most of these patterns consist from its charts mostly. So I thought that just the charts would be a treat because they are really authentic Norwegian charts. So this is prize number 2. So it's those 2 prizes we have. I may also include some pattern prizes if there are many finished objects, or I will take something from the chapter thread. I'm not sure. I will put some prizes. Those are 2 of them. I don't know how I will do it. Probably those 2 will be from the finished objects thread. Oh, sorry. Pepsi. Again. So, I just have to say, if you can hear the baby cry, it's because my boyfriend is putting him to sleep. So there is someone with him. He's not crying by himself while I'm podcasting. Because my boyfriend is on paternity leave. So he is taking the baby while I do this. And speaking of the baby, I had one more announcement. My baby's name is Ludvig. And when he was christened, we had this christening, I say that, in January. I decided that I would make him a christening bonnet myself. Because he had the gown, my Ludvig's great grandmother made one for Ludvig's cousin. It's on my boyfriend's side of the family. So I decided that I wanted to make a bonnet that actually matched that gown. And so I did, and here is a picture of it. It is made from Viking baby wool, which is basically the same as Drops baby anything. It's a heavy fingering weight. It's 350 meters per 100 grams, and I think I made it on 3mm needles. I'm pretty sure I made it on 3mm needles. So the pattern has been test knitted for, it's been quite a while that I haven't been getting around to putting it out there, but now it is up in my Ravelry store, and you can buy it there for $2.50. So that's out there. And now I'm just going to go on over to the works in progress because I have quite a bit to talk about. So the first one I have showed you before, and it is a kofte for my mother, which I'm making in alpaca fine from Viking yarn, which is a yarn that is 85% superfine alpaca and 15% Hernon wool, and it's 166 meters per 50 grams. So I'm going to insert a picture of the pattern picture here so you can see what it looks like, because I don't have the booklet, I only have it in downloaded format. So I am making this in the original colors. My mom told me last year in November that I don't think it was in November, I think it was like 15th of December, she said, I want that for Christmas. So I was like, no, that's not going to happen. because at the time I had decided to start the Icelandic sweater for my boyfriend. So this is so far I have gotten, which is about the same as last time. I think last time I had been halfway here, and I have actually, I think I ripped this out twice, because what I do is basically I cast on a given amount of stitches. Don't remember, don't tell you anyway, because it's a paper pattern. No, it's actually not, it's a free pattern, but it's only in Norwegian, I believe. I think it's only in Norwegian. But I cast on a given amount of stitches and I knit the ribbing, and then I take off stitches in the fronts because I'm going to knit the button band. I'm going to knit the button band instead of knitting it this way, I'm going to knit it that way. So I'm going to start and I'm going to pick up stitches as I go, kind of like a knitted on border, I think. The last time I did it that way, I knitted the whole button band and I sewed it on, and I'm not going to do that this time because it didn't work very well. It's okay, but it's perfect. So I'm going to try to knit up stitches along the sides as I go, as I knit on border. But anyway, I took off a set of 10 stitches to spare on the end of both ends of the button of the ribbing, and then I watched the pattern and I said cast on X amount of stitches, set aside 20 and increase so that you have X amount of stitches. And because it was the same stitch number as I had cast on, I thought, well, I already had that amount of stitches, so I'm just going to continue knitting. And so I did, because I didn't think about the fact that I had 20 stitches on hold. So I had to rip back. I had knitted about this far, maybe. No, I think it wasn't told. Maybe this is 6 centimeters, so maybe I had knitted 6 centimeters more of stockinette stitch. And then I had to rip it back to the ribbing and pick up stitches and cast on the stitches or increase the stitches that I had forgot to do, and knit again. And I think I was to about this far when I realized that I wasn't knitting the right size, so I had to rip out everything and try again. But now I am on the go, and this one is, because now it's like 40 centimeters of stockinette stitch with, it's not very thin yarn, but stockinette stitch on 3mm needles. So I'm going to take this because I am going on a trip with my work from Monday to Wednesday next week. So I'm going to bring this because this one I can knit in the car and I can knit it at lunch and basically everywhere, because I can just knit, stop. I don't have to, well, you know, you're a knitter, I don't have to explain it to you. So that's the first one. Also I have my kofta, my satisal kofta, but I haven't been working on that, so I didn't bring it to show you. The other works in progress I have is let's see, because some time ago I got, it's not very long ago, maybe a month or something, I got a swap package which included a knitted bib, which was absolutely amazing, because it had just, it was for my little boy, just to put that out there. It wasn't for me, it was for the baby, and it was just the right size, and it had the right size around the neck, and it was covering him well without being in the way, because I find it really hard to find really good bibs. So I had to message the woman who made it and ask, what pattern did you make? Which pattern did you use? Because I really need more of those bibs. The pattern wasn't available in Norway, but she helped me get it, and here it is. I'm going to. So here is how far I have gotten. I was just taking up the band from the yarn, but it's the wrong one. That's not the one I used. But this is so far I have gotten. This is the top, and there is going to be a button there. And when this is done, it is not very far to go. When this is done, I'm picking up stitches around the edge and doing an I-cord thing, I think. I haven't really read the pattern. But anyway, so I think this will be great. I have 2 skeins of this, so if it is enough with one, I am going to make 2 green ones. And I'm definitely going back to buy more colors, because my local yarn shop didn't have the yarn that I was intending to use, but they were getting it next week, so I will buy more. But this is Pete Sumatra, and it's a cotton yarn, and it is 85 meters for 50 grams. And this also is from Rauma, the same one that I'm giving you, some of you, yarn from for the stranded car. This is, I don't know, Mercisert, I don't even know how to say that in Norwegian, let alone in English. Mercisert. Anyway, it's cotton. But it is treated cotton, and I don't like it because it feels kind of, I don't know, it's like I can hear it. I don't know if that's all the cotton, but I think that this one is worse. But I know that I have been knitting lots of, oh, I'm forgetting all the English words. I have been knitting lots of koptuer. I'm putting the words down here. Clothes for the kitchen. I have been knitting most of those, and I don't like knitting with mercerisert. Still don't know the English word. Cotton, but I know that it will be okay once it has been washed once or twice. It will be better. So that's my second work in progress. My third one and my last one that I can show you, because I am working on one project that I'm not quite ready to show you, is this. It's growing. I'm going to. You can see that it's actually growing. I have been adding quite a lot of squares to this. At least these 3 are new ones. These are from my own. What I'm doing is that the top part from here and up is yarn from my projects, and these other ones are yarn from swaps. Or from others. There is 2 color here that is from my mother-in-law, who, and this is leftover for some mittens she made for Ludwig, so those are really special for me. But I think that I have added at least 1 whole row, and maybe at least this top row is new, and I think maybe, I'm not sure, and I don't even know how many squares there are in total now. But I'm starting to really like this, and even though it's a long-term project, I just want it to grow and be bigger and bigger and bigger. So what I have been doing now is that I have made all of my mini skeins that I had from earlier into such little pots, and I'm having those in a bowl on my living room table, because I normally knit in my living room. This room is more storage and sewing and studying. I knit in my living room. These are the leftovers of the skeins that are already in my blanket. So these are the ones from Mina of the Knitting Expert. And those are about the only ones that I remember. So I have just put everything in one bowl, and I'm picking one, and sometimes I know what the yarn is, but I forget it before I've finished the square. And I have no idea who they are from. I was intending in the beginning to make like sections that after in the blanket I wanted to make sections for each person, that I knit all the squares from one person in one section, but it doesn't really matter because I did that with like the 3 first swaps I did, and I can't remember who they are from, so I'm just putting them in there. So that was it for my whips, I think. yeah, and I have those three, and I have a kufta, it's a cardigan for myself, and I have the sock madness sock, which I totally failed on doing, and I also have a design project which I'm showing you next week. I'm just having some trouble, so I won't be bothered to pick it up. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm not going to, I talked about sock madness sock last week, I'm not going to show you them again. But I have some finished objects. And the first one is this. Ta-da! I have finished a pair of socks, which are, you can't see it, which are going into my box of socks. Which are, you probably know this, but it's a call hosted by the Jan Gassen podcast. Yeah, it's always confused me. I want to call it the Woolen Wine Yarns, but it's the Jan Gassen podcast. It's Kristin from Woolen Wine Yarns. Yeah, anyway, that's the call this is going into. So I have no idea how many socks I've made this far, but the rules is that you have to make 12 pair and put them in a pretty box. And I don't have a box, but I have been storing the socks. There are my socks. That was unnecessary. Are you okay? I hope you're not getting sick in there. So, my first finished objects are these. These are made on 2.5mm needles. The yarn is Opal Klangwelten, and if I'm not wrong, I'm not completely sure, but you will find it in the show notes and in the project page on Ravelry. This is, I think it's the Songwriter colorway. I do believe this is Opal Klangwelten Songwriter. I'm not sure about the Songwriter part. But I made this with 56 stitches, I believe, or 60? 56 probably, on 2.5mm needles. And yeah, it's a fish lips kiss seal and a star rounded toe thing. I call it a rounded toe, but I see that many other people call it a star toe, so that might be the correct term. But that's one finished object, which are going to be stored in my shelf with every other sock I have. The other finished object that I have here is, I have finished a shawl. This is the Henslow shawl by Beth Kling, and the yarn is Tosh Merino Light in the Antler colorway. I don't remember what needles I used or which size I used. I'm just going to, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, it's look good. But this is a close-up of the shawl, and basically, I don't think I will say too much. You knit this part that way, and then you pick up stitches and knit a border or a lace section, and then after that it's a knitted on border. And this took me forever because I thought that it would be too small. I just realized when I started the last knitted on border, which is this bit, so it's not big. There. And I thought that this would be too small, it would be too short because for my use, and it was a little bit too tight in the bind off, which I could go back and redo, but I didn't want to. So this took forever to finish just because of that, and then I blocked it out, and it's about my wingspan. So that is perfect. It's a perfect size for me. I'm just going to, normally I only use those shawls that are triangular. That's the only shawls I've used, so I'm not quite sure how I will use this, but I think it will be something like that. And I really love this. I'll probably wear it all the time, and I have white mittens and a white hat that I use all the time, so I think this will go pretty good with that. So I'm really glad this is finished, and I really loved it. This is about the softest thing I have ever knit with, and the softest thing I have ever worn. So this one is, I'm really pleased. This one is really perfect. My mom is saying that she likes it every time she sees it. I think she is trying to like take it away from me, but she won't be able to. This is my pretty thing. So that's the other finished object. The third one I don't really have here, but those of you who have watched the podcast for a while or have been following me on Instagram know that I have knitted the flax sweater by Tinka Knits for my dad. And I did that using 5mm needles and Drops Charisma, which is a yarn that is a little bit thinner than Nepal. I have been getting feedbacks from people who ask me how I like Charisma. And it's not the first time I knit a garment with it, and it's a reason that all of these, except from those on the top, all of these are Charisma. And it's a reason that I keep coming back to it, because I really like it. It's a great yarn for garments that are getting a lot of wear, and it's easy to wash. You just throw it in the washing machine and you can hang it to dry. I know that you're supposed to flat dry wool, but when you live in the Arctic and you use lots of wool and you wash wools once a week with washing machine full, I don't have the space to like put everything out to dry flat. I would have to buy a bigger house to do that, or just wash them one by one, and well, it would take too long because I wear a lot of wool. But with Charisma you could just hang it to dry, and it won't sag and it won't lose its shape. It's a really, or at least it depends on how your gauge is, but my doesn't lose its shape, and it's the perfect. It is the perfect affordable yarn for big garments for me. 1 minute. I need to refill my glass. Anyway, so I think if I haven't inserted photos already, I will insert photos of the flax sweater here so you can see it. My father got it for his 50th birthday and he really enjoyed it. The pattern was really enjoyable and it just flew off needles. I don't know how long I used. I think I used less than 1 week for a whole extra large sweater. And I did buy because I wasn't sure, so I bought all the Charisma the yarn store had in that color, which was 17 skeins. And I've only used 11, which means that I have 6 skeins left. So I think, because one of the beauty of the flax sweater pattern is that it is available for all sizes. So I think that I will make another one in size 1 year in the same color for Ludwig, so that he can match his grandpa when he starts to go to kindergarten, which I think will be fun for both of them. And I would also like to knit myself a flax sweater, and my boyfriend also thought it was pretty, and so did my brother. So I think it will be more of those in the future, just not right now because I have lots of projects I want to cast on. Actually, last night when I was planning this podcast, I wrote on my show notes and I was going through all my projects to see what I was working on, because sometimes I just cast on everything and I don't. And then I put them in my basket because I have this next to my couch downstairs. So I put them in there and then I forget them, and it just felt like I had been casting on everything because the basket was so packed that I actually had started to store works in progress in another basket up here, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to finish something and not just store them. That doesn't mean that I want to have only one project on the go, but I don't want to like stash projects everywhere and never finish them. But then when I started emptying the basket, it seems that I hadn't been casting on. I had only been planning to casting on. So I had lots of yarns in there which wasn't been turning into works in progress yet. So I just emptied the basket. So now it feels like I can cast on everything again. Probably will too. Especially since this would... Watch this. Especially since I have been getting some yarn. Which I am going to show you next in my acquisitions part. The first one I is going to show you is from a homespun house, Molly. And if you are a part of the Harry Potter Yarn Club and haven't gotten your yarn club and haven't gotten your yarn yet and don't want spoilers, you should look away now, because I am going to show you. Just skip ahead a minute or so. It is these two stitch marker, which is one owl and one lightning, and I think it's a chocolate, which I'm not sure I will dare to taste. Yeah, I probably will. I'll just eat anything. So I'm not going to open it. I'm going to link all of the information, but all of you probably know. They won't show. All of you probably know Molly anyway, but she has a podcast which you can find which is called The Homespun House on YouTube, and she's a really calm person. She's normally films in her office, craft room, call it whatever you want. And she has a way of being that is just, she's inspiring and she's calming, and at the same time as you feel relaxed, you feel inspired, which is unusual for me because I don't really feel relaxed that much. But you should definitely check out her podcast, and the yarn I got from the Harry Potter Yarn Club is this one. It's 100% alpaca, and it is on the baby alpaca base. It is called A Boy Who Lived and His Trusty Companion. It's 400 meters per 100 grams, and it's non-superwash baby alpaca. Fingering weight. And this is really pretty, and I'm going to open it now. I haven't opened it, but I don't think... Ooh. I was supposed to say that I don't think I missed anything, but I haven't seen this. There's some really, really pretty teal blues and some more brownish. Brown, greens. There are some yellows in here. And some reds and pinks, and yeah, I can't wait to knit up this. This is really pretty, and so is the other two skeins. This is my third yarn from Homespun House, and the first two was the installment 1 and 2 of the Harry Potter Yarn Club. So I'm really impressed with the yarn because I haven't tried it before, but I will definitely be ordering more from her later because it's amazing. So that is my first acquisition. My other acquisition is from Bohemia Fibers. I don't remember her name, doesn't really matter. Amy is her name. Sorry. Oh. Amy and Melissa from the Spicy Homemaker did a swapless swap thing a while back, and I had to join. And basically what you do, because Bohemia Fibers, she will dye yarn based on a photo you choose. So I'm going to show you the photo I chose for this mini skein swap. And what she does is that there are 10 people who are in on this swapless swaps, which means that we don't send anything, we pay for a skein or something. I'm not sure what we actually... I don't even remember how much we paid, but we paid her for the yarn, and we sent in a photo, and she takes each of those 10 photos and make one skein of yarn, which she then divides into 10 mini skeins, so that everyone who participates gets 10 mini skeins. So this is the photo I choose, and this is the yarn that is based on that photo. And this is really, really pretty. The other 9, I just wanted to show you this because it's special. This is my special yarn. But here are the other mini skeins from the same. I know you have probably seen those before, because this one is from a photo that Andy Sunitz, or Andy from the Andy Sunitz chose. And this is Eric's photo of this the Sticks and Twine podcast, which I still haven't gotten around to watch. This is Spicy Homemakers, Melissa's photos. This is Lina. She's a Finnish podcaster. I think her podcast's name is called Lina Knits. I think I have been watching her, but I just subscribe. I don't really notice the names of the podcast, but this is from her photo. Yeah, and this is from the Mrs. Brown's Bags. They also recently started a podcast, she and her sister, which I also Grocery Girls. How could I forget? I'm a grocery girl myself. I grew up in a grocery store. But this is from her photo. Yeah, I think that's it for the other podcasters. But I really, really like all of this. And I'm not sure if I would put this in my blanket or if I would do something else to them, because they are kind of extra special, because they are kind of extra special to me. If I put them in the blanket, I will definitely put all of those together so that I can later go back and say that these are from the Bohemia Fibers Swapless Swap. It's the first Swapless Swap I have done. So I'm just getting to. I have 2 more giveaways because I have been doing some swaps. Most of you have probably heard about Mina of the Mina of the Knitting Expat did expat swap a while ago, and I got paired up with Heather, I think her name is. I can't believe I spotted it. Yeah, it's Heather. And I'm just going to not talk too much about each of these things, because when I opened this package, everything was wrapped in like thin paper. And even my boyfriend was like, what is that? Who is sending you such amount of stuff? And it was really amazing. I couldn't believe how much effort she actually put in. Yeah, anyway. So she sent me a project bag. If you don't realize, she is from the States somewhere. My American geography is really, really bad, so United States is like one big thing for me. And it has a glittery lining. These dots actually are golden. And it has a hank on the inside, which probably could come in really handy. So I really love this, and it is quite sturdy. Yeah. So that's a project bag she sent me. She also sent me some licorice, which is purple, which kind of scares me. But I'm really excited to try this. I don't think I have been talking about it, but I really love licorice. I eat licorice all the time. Like candy licorice, not like... Yeah, you get it. Licorice is my favorite candy, but you can't get it in most parts of the world, at least not in the same way as you can in Norway. Or in Scandinavia. She also sent me Washington Huckleberry Taffy, which I saw that Mina had been getting, but I don't think it was from the same person. It was really fun to see that she liked them, and I can't wait to try this. I'm not going to do it now. She sent me some Starbucks hot chocolate, which was really nice because I love hot chocolate and I love Starbucks, and the nearest Starbucks is like in Oslo. I don't know exactly how far it is, but the distance from my place to Oslo is about the same as from Oslo to till Milano in Italy, so it's quite a distance. And she sent me some sticks, mint sticks, I believe. This will probably be eaten by my boyfriend because he loves those, and I have been storing everything in my craft room, so that he won't eat it. She sent me this little notions pouch and also one more, and I think this one will go to store these kinds of stitch markers. There it is, which is not, they are not progress keeper, they're just those that you hang on the needles, and I really love these kind of stitch markers and I use them all the time. But I don't have many, so I almost never have them, and I just end up using yarns instead. So I'm really glad to get some more of those. She also sent me 2 of those hand lotions bars, which I have never heard of before. Hand lotion bars. Do you just use it like soap and just rub it in your hands, or do you need water? Or this is kind of embarrassing, but I have never used hand lotion bars before, so I'm really excited to try that. I didn't know that it existed. She sent me some big cool pens. I wonder if she knows that I love bullet journaling as well. And she sent me a Mickey Mouse journal, which is perfect because I really love Disney. And it's Mickey on the inside as well. It's 120 sheets. And I'm not sure what I will use this for, but I think it would be something special. And I think maybe I will use it for taking notes when I dye yarn, because I'm going to talk more about that later, but I think I will use this to take notes. She also sent me some postcards and a pocket calendar. Yeah, I'm not going to show you all of those photos, but she sent me some. She's from Oregon. Yeah, Oregon coast. Maybe it is this. Oh, I don't think it's the same person that Nina was talking about. But she sent me some postcards. And now over to the best stuff. She sent me some minis, which are definitely going into my blanket. And 2 of those have stellina, or they are glittery. There it is. And I didn't ever think that I would like glittery yarn, because I haven't really seen it until just recently. But I really love it. And I would at least not think that I would like glittery yarn and that I would want glittery yarn to make socks of. But now I really want some sparkling socks. Well, how things change. So these are 2, 4, 6, the 10 mini skeins, which all are pretty, and all of those are going in my blanket. And she sent me this sock that rocks, 100% superwash merino in from Blue Moon Fiber House. Look at this, how pretty is this? This is my favorite color, at least this week. It changes from week to week. This is really pretty. Colorway is called Haystack, and I haven't opened it because, yeah, I just haven't. I'm going to do that now because I have been wanting to, but I don't think I will be able to put it back to be as pretty. Oh, I can't wait to knit with this. I have no idea what I will do. These kind of things are always a little bit hard when there are so many colors in the yarn, because I think it looks really pretty and I feel like I should knit something other than socks, but it's always hard to. I never know how these things will knit up, how they will look in finished. If I need a hat or a scarf or a cowl or something. I have no idea how we would knit up and if there is something I would use. Oh, yeah, I'm doing that later. So I find that really hard. If anyone has links to any resources that can show like side by side comparison, that this is how the skein looks, this is how it will work up, please let me know, because that would be really interesting. And she also sent me this, and I'm going to show you this alongside. Oh, I'm throwing away that box. This is her card. And this is all of the information. And this is the yarn, which is really, really pretty. Oranges and browns are one of my favorite color combinations because it reminds, it's kind of retro, which I love. This is merino nylon, and it's a fingering weight. And I can't wait to knit those up. I think this will be socks. I'm not sure, and I don't know which socks, because I don't want to just knit plain vanilla socks. I want to do something more. But there are so many pretty yarns that doesn't want to be like lace socks. But this is really, really pretty, and I can't wait to knit it up. So that's a special treat, and you should definitely check out her shop. I'm going to put it in the show notes, but there it is again. Hopefully I will be able to put like a picture of her if there is any stock, because normally when I go to check out stores on Etsy, they don't have anything because they sold everything before I got there. Also, I did a swap with a girl called Michelle, and now I realized that I forgot to bring something, but it's probably for the best. She sent me some teas. Teas, a soap, handmade by herself. She sent me some more of those kind of stitch markers, which is really amazing because I really need those. A project bag, which I also really need, and I opened it just to put in everything because my desk is a total mess. And she sent me, I knew about approximately what she was going to send, and she sent me this Madeline Tosh, which is the Tosh Merino Light, which is the same yarn as I used in my Hensel shawl, which I showed you earlier. This is the Tosh Merino Light, and it is totally my colorway. It is absolutely amazing, and I will definitely make a shawl from this. I don't know which shawl yet, and I don't know if I will combine this with anything else, but I think it will just be this because this is stunning. So she sent me this, and she also, because I told her that I really wanted to try some hedgehog fibers, but it's kind of hard to get hold of in Norway. So she sent me this, which is, I don't know if they have base name, it's Superwash Marine and 10% nylon. And the colorway is Dove, and I opened this, it looked prettier. I'm not really good at binding them into skeins, but this is, it kind of reminds me of, I'm going to start over again. It kind of reminds me of winter. So I am thinking that maybe this has to become, because the variation in the colors are not that big, so I think that this might have to become the main body of a shawl, and then I can knit a white or another shade of blue, but I think a white border, like lace border. So I think both of these two has to become shawls, just not together. And both of them are really soft, and I'm so glad that I decided that I discovered international yarns, because they are like soft on a whole other level than you can find in Norway. Like even I know I take up about everything. Maybe yarn that isn't really that soft for everyone else, and I said this is soft. But it's just because I'm used to knitting with like really rustic yarns. So that's it, but that's it for my acquisitions, I believe. Yeah, that's everything. I have one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. Actually, I forgot something. I have two more things I want to talk about. One of them is dyeing yarns, because I decided a while ago. I have been watching A Dyer's Notebook with Laura, and she's really inspiring, and everyone who isn't watching that podcast should definitely check it out, especially if you want to try hand dyeing your own yarn. And I decided last week or this week, I'm not sure, that now I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to hand dye some yarn, and I went and I bought some food colors, the yellow ones, and 2 skeins of Sandnes Sisu, which is a commercial stock yarn in undyed color. And I decided that I'm going to dye yarn tonight. And these are the 4 colorways that I ended up with. I took each of those 2 skeins I have bought, and I put them in, divided them to 2. So these are 4 25-gram skeins, which are going to be put in my blanket, and then I will use the rest for swaps, because I have no idea what I will do with it. So the first one I dyed were these 2. That's the first one. Basically what I did was I had some greens and some blues in the water, because I was dyeing in the stove, and I had some greens and some blues in the water along with white vinegar, and I had this one wound up to a skein, and I just put it in as it was. And then I took this skein because I wanted to try different techniques, and I dip dyed it. So you can see it's lighter on one side than on the other. So basically what I did was I was just standing there like this. So after it was out of the green blue water, I took out these 2 skeins, and I put in some red in the water. I'm not doing that later. I'm not really that good. So after I took those off, I took this skein and I rewound it. I just took it open and wind it up to a skein again, and did a different number of twists, and I put it back. This you can see the techniques on the podcast. I'm going to link to the episode on the Dyer's Notebook podcast, because she showed it in one of her latest podcasts, and that's where I got inspired to do it. So I just wound this up into a different skein, and I put it back in the red one, and then I also decided that I just put this one in. This is a lot more tonal. It's almost solid color, but there's a little bit of variegation in it. So this one is a really pretty color, but this is it's a pretty color, but it's not that fun to just put it in there and wait. So these 2 were in the pot. I'm totally losing. Next time I'm going to just take photos. If I have any photos, I will show you as I get to it. But next time I will try to film or take photos, because there will be a next time. So these 2 were in the pot until it was out of red, and the red actually turned out more purple, probably because there was some blue leftovers in the pot. And when it was almost out of red, this one has been reskeined. I took a hank of yarn, and I just hang it over the casserole like this, over the pot, so that half of the skein was in the red water. And then my plan was that when it was out of red, or pink, it was more pinkish at the time, I was going to flip it over and dye the other half in a bright Easter yellow, or in a yellow colorway, because yellow was the only one that I had left. So I was going to try that. So I colored it, and it turned out this color, like light pinky orange, and then I turned it over and I had in all of the yellow color, and it turned out like it was like Easter yellow with a little bit of pink, and I didn't like it at all. So what I did then was that I opened the skein. Never mind, it wasn't in a skein, it was just hanging like this. So first I put that half in, and then I waited, and then I did the other half in yellow, and I didn't like the yellow and the pink together as they were looking, so I just pushed everything in, and I took the little tubes of the colors that were left, so there were some greens and some reds, and I just squeezed them in the pot, and I decided that I'll just wait and see what happens. So this one was, I had no idea what I did. I know what I did, I just have no idea how about anything basically. But I think it turned out okay. I like the colors together, and I'm really excited to see how this knits up, because it was totally experimental. So I have 4 skeins of my own hand-dyed yarn with food coloring, and I'm thinking of trying a little bit more with food coloring. And I also have some Kool-Aid, which you can't buy in Norway, so I don't know how I have them, but I have 3 packs of Kool-Aid that is made specially for coloring yarn, so I think I will try to use that and color some more. I would really love to try dyeing with like acid colors, but I don't really have the space for it, and I don't really see that I have the time for it at the moment either, because I won't do that in the normal kitchen because of the baby, and well, you shouldn't. So that would mean that in the basement we have like a laundry room, and I would have to do it down there, but then I would have to get like a sink and some stove, and yeah, it's a lot of equipment, and it will be really expensive. But maybe in the future, maybe I can try some acid colors. But anyway, I was going to ask if you... No, never mind. I have one more thing I want to talk about, because I talk about weekend review, and that is Norwegian patterns in English, because I get lots of questions all the time of... I make something like this. Traditional Norwegian patterns. Oh, sorry. That wasn't a photo. I make this traditional Norwegian pattern, and I am now working on making myself this cardigan, and people ask me, is it possible to get this pattern in English? Because I use lots of Norwegian patterns because I love them, traditional. Also the Marius pattern is really popular, and many people have been asking me, is this available in English? And I have said no, I'm sorry, it's not. It turns out that I am wrong, because there is a company called SKD Yarns. I don't know where they are, but they have an agreement with Sandnes Design, which is a Norwegian big yarn company or design company. Sandnes Garn is the yarn company anyway. But they have an agreement with them, so they are allowed to translate the patterns into English and sell them. Some of them are kits, but some of them are available to buy just single patterns. So I went over their browsing to see what kind of patterns they have translated. There was a lady in the group who told me this. That it was I think it was her husband who runs this site. But anyway, I was saying that some of them are kits, some of them are not. Yeah, and she said that they are quite a bit. I think in Ravelry, I think it was like 10 pages. But they also do, if you can make wishes, and they will try to... They see what people want them to translate, and they try to do that. So they have translated some of the most traditional Norwegian patterns. I haven't browsed through all of them, but they have the patterns I'm using is from Rauma, which is the same thing, but the traditional Norwegian pattern doesn't belong to any one of the companies. So they have translated some of the Sätesdal pattern, which is the same pattern that I'm using for my cardigan kofta. They have also translated the Marius patterns, which is I have shown you lots of before, both on socks and on sweaters, and it's a really well-known traditional Norwegian pattern. They have also translated a Fana pattern, which is a stripy pattern. I think I'll insert pictures, but I have translated the Fana pattern, which is a pattern that I used in one of the koftas I have. I have shown it before. It's brown and yellow. They have translated Nordkapp, which is a old pattern. I don't know from where, but it's kind of old pattern which the yarn company has decided to redo in other colors and with a little bit more modern shape. So they have that one, which I really want to knit, and they also have translated Nancy kofta, which is the Nancy cardigan, which is one of the most popular patterns in Norway at the moment. So I'm going to link to the Ravelry page and their show notes and their email address in the show notes. No, I'm going to link to the Ravelry page and their web page, not the show notes, and their email address in the show notes for this episode, and you can find it there. And if you want to knit any Norwegian pattern or Norwegian inspired, Norwegian traditional or Scandinavian, or you can head on over there to check it out, because it seemed like they had a lot. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there so that everyone knows. It seems like I'm up to an hour. I thought that this would be longer, but obviously it wouldn't. I have been thinking about getting myself a tripod for my phone or my iPad so that I can be able to make videos of me knitting, like from above, so that I can show you how I do stranded knitting, because it seems like I don't have any stranded projects, but it seems like that most people are either letting go of the yarn and picking it up and throwing. It's hard to show you. Yeah, I'm knitting continental, and I have both strands on my left finger. But I was thinking that maybe I could show you, but I don't really know where to buy like a tripod for preferably for the iPad, but the iPhone would do. That will film from above. So if anyone knows of that, please let me know. Also, if anyone knows of a microphone that I could buy to use with an iPad, which isn't too expensive, please let me know, because I really want to make this better. So I think that's it for the knitting part. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit of the Arctic living. So if you're not interested in hearing about what I do, what I have done since last time that is not knitting related, that is totally okay, and you are free to turn off anytime. If you are, you can stick around and I will talk a little bit about it. First of all, I thought that last time I filmed, I did it on the Wednesday in Easter, and we were going to a cabin with my mother-in-law and her husband. I had to think that they actually did get married. They got married last summer. But we went to their cabin, and it was snowing. It was really Eastery, and we had a really great time. We were there for 3 nights, I'm not sure. And we were just eating and having fun, and it's not really that many people who lives where they have this cabin, so it wasn't that much people, or we didn't see anyone actually, or I didn't. We did see a moose or an elk. I'm not sure what is the difference in the English words and what it is we have in Norway, but I think it's moose. We did see some of those, and we were out a lot, and Ludwig got to play in the snow for the first time, which was really fun. And also we got to play in the snow. We made a snowman for the first time in I don't know when I last made a snowman, but it was really fun. And I will try to insert photos as I talk this time, because I don't think I have been doing any filming, so I'm not going to put in anything at the end. But anyway, we went there for Easter, and we came home on Saturday, and then we went to my mom's place and stayed for one night, because we were just going there to eat dinner, but it's a 40-minute drive, and even though it's not long, because Ludvig is going to bed at 7, we have to leave there at like 5:30, and I didn't want to do that, so we decided we should just spend the night. It was really nice, and we just watched TV and ate candies and had a good time. And then last week just went along as it normally does. I have been spending most of the time in my office, which is here, because this isn't just my craft room, it is also my office, and I have been doing schoolworks. Yeah, anyway, but this weekend, it was 1 week ago, we celebrated my father's 50th birthday. I don't know if you noticed last time, but I was saying that my father is getting this. When I had knitted him the flax sweater, I said, my father is getting this for Christmas. My father is getting this for birthday on the. Well, anyway, because his birthday hasn't been yet. He has his 50th birthday on the 10th, which is on Sunday, and we decided that we were going to make him a surprise party, and we did that last weekend. Simply because it would be harder for him to find out. My father is a sound technician, so he has storage, and in the storage they also trying to like make a place for the musicians of the village to meet and to have concerts and stuff. So we decided that we wanted to have it there because it's easy to have live music, and it's basically just easy. So we asked my father if we could borrow that, or not we, my mother asked if she could borrow his venue, it's called venue, to make a birthday for one of her friends who had a birthday the 2nd of April. So my father knew that it was going to be a birthday there, and he helped placing the tables, and he was going to celebrate her when he got down there in the evening. So it was really fun because he done it like when he came in, my mother went to pick him up, and when he came in he thought that he was going to another woman's birthday, but instead of everyone like jumping up and screaming surprise, everyone was sitting still and no one said anything. And when he came in, and when he was about in the middle of the floor, the band started playing, and they had written a Norwegian song. They had changed the lyrics of it, or written a new lyric, and the first line was, we are going to celebrate Olaf. Olaf is my father's name, it's the same of the snowman, but we are going to celebrate Olaf was the first line of the song. And then we realized it, and because we had Ludvig and he would kind of see it if there was a baby in the room, we had went back to the office, and when they started singing we went out, and he had that on his shoulder, and he was like, are you here? And I took Ludvig from his father and gave it to him, and he was just standing there with Ludvig, and it was while they were singing a song that they wrote specially for him, and it was really nice. And then we had a dinner, and I had to go home at 10 to watch Ludvig until my mother was home. She came home at 12. She went home to put him to sleep, and I went home for a bit, and then she went home, and I went back to the party to have to talk to people and say hello. So it was really nice, and my father was really surprised, and he really loved this sweater he got, and it was live music, and it was fun. Also, yeah, because we are Norway's National Day is the 17th of May, and I'm looking for something which is actually underneath the camera. That is bad planning. I'm going to insert a photo here, because every year for our National Day I made these hair bows that I am photo. Every year I made these hair bows, and I put them into Facebook, and I have got an order for like 400 of them or something. So this is what I'm going to do the next few weeks. I'm going to make hair bows. I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want to spam down Instagram and Ravelry and everywhere with hair bows. That is for a Norwegian bunad. But I will use a lot of my time or my spare time to make these hair bows so that I can send it out, because I have a company, I have a Norwegian company, and I sell those kind of hair bows, and I sell some other things that I made, like some Lego things and some sewn children's clothing, which isn't much now, that since I haven't been sewing for 3 months. But it's fun. It's really fun to sell like this much bows. I can't believe it. I didn't think I would sell this much, because I did sell very much last year, and I thought that, well, no, probably everyone has them, so who will buy them? But then I have people who order like 400 bows, and it's National Day is the 17th of May, so it's still quite a bit of time for people to continue to order. So that is really fun. And I said that insert a photo. I'm watching I have all my equipment there, because when I make, I have the hair bows, and then I also have like a bow. I don't know the English word. But when I make them, I'm using these kinds of to put around the neck, which has buttonholes, so that it is a nice sew button on them, which is the worst part of making those bows. I have to sew a button to like around this, and I use this around the neck, and I have been waiting for this like forever, and they have arrived today. This is a leftover from last year, but I am getting more today. And buttonhole elastic there for this prim. Anyway, I'm totally losing. The next few weeks will be just making bows, and in 2 weeks my mother called me yesterday and asked me if me and Ludvig wanted to go with her to Oslo, because my mom has a sister that lives in Oslo, so she tries to get there every now and then, and she asked me if I wanted to go, and of course I do. So apparently I am going to Oslo for the first time in like, it was like 2 years ago for a weekend, but before that I think it was like 4 years. I don't really go to Oslo very often, but it will be nice to get south, especially this time of year, because as I said, it's kind of... Can you hear my boyfriend sing? I actually have to leave it. Anyway, I was saying, last time I was complaining about weather because it has been really snowy and it has been very wintry, and now it's suddenly like spring. Not, I won't say that the grass is green because it isn't, but it's been sunny. The snow is almost gone. There's just one little spot of white in our garden, and I'm looking out the window and it looks like it's spring. So you kind of want to start working outdoor. We was talking about the other day what we are going to do with our veranda, because we bought this house in July last year, and we have to do lots outdoors. I don't know if no one is interested, but we have to do some redecorating inside and also outside, because the garden of this house hasn't been taken care of for at least 5 years, according to the neighbors. So I really want to try to get something done, and now it just felt like this is the time of year when you do that. And then I realized, no, it is going to snow again. We are only in April. It is going to snow. It has to become, it will be more winter before it gets spring for real. It feels like the weather is just like, I'm coming here for 3 weeks and then you're getting more winter. It feels like it's just teasing us. But it's really nice to have such nice weather, and we even have been eating ice cream. I don't think I have ever eaten ice cream in April before. But yeah, what I was saying is that when it's like that up here, wintry and rainy and still dark, it's light outside in the day, but it's still like, it's not quite springy. It's in the end of April. It could snow, no problems, it could snow. And it could be cold, it could be minus degrees, and it or below 0 in Celsius, and it's not very springy, it's not green. It's if there is no snow, it's raining, and it's dark. It's not dark, it feels dark. And then you go south, because it's quite a bit to Oslo, and they have spring, they have warmth. You can actually take off your winter clothing and just walk outside without having to put on hats and gloves and everything. So it would be really nice to get down there. Also, they have some yarn stores. They may have some yarn stores that I may have to visit. Also, I was telling you about one more plan that I have, but I don't know what this is. Yeah, this Monday I'm going on a trip with my work. So, which means that I will go away from Ludwig for the first time in his life. And I'm looking forward to going on that job, because it will be fun, but at the same time I don't want to leave the boy behind. I want to take him with me, but I can't. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I am going to this really small town, so there won't be any yarn store there that much, I know. If there is, I will be really surprised. But I will bring my cardigan from my mother, and I will work on that, and hopefully I will get quite a bit done on that. But it's not like I can't knit while I'm working, because I'm working physically. Anyway, I don't know, now I feel like I'm just rambling on and looking for things to talk about. It's Friday today. I have to go to the store, so I'm just going to end it here, and I will talk to you again in like 1.5 weeks, hopefully. Hopefully I will get to do another podcast before I go to Oslo. And then one more after that, and several more. This doesn't make any sense. I'm so sorry. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I haven't been too much I feel kind of out. Maybe this isn't, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope I have behaved quite good, and I will talk to you again in a couple of weeks. So I'll see you then. Bye.